Hey, you got Bruce the Weathered Soul and Dougie on the Weathered Soul podcast. Welcome to Jungle, right? How you doing, Dougie? How's it going, man? It's been a couple of weeks since we've talked, man. How you been? And Dougie's all frozen up here, so I'll just go ahead and start this show because here we are. I've got one computer tonight. I thought I was going to be able to monitor this through YouTube Live, and it's just not happening tonight because my Windows over here sitting here saying getting Windows ready. Don't turn off your computer, and so I'm stuck. I can't be on YouTube tonight, but hopefully our assistant's going to be on YouTube and be monitoring the chat room. So the chat room's open. So use that share button and hit that like button. You leave us a comment, leave us a nasty note. Go to iTunes, when you hear this on the iTunes, because you can get us on any podcatcher. We're brought to you by anchor.fm/the Weathered Soul podcast. We're here every week. Kind of every week, but we're here on Monday nights at 7:00. We try to be here all the time for you because that's just what our listeners expect. We got 333,000 in the room right now, and it's just packed and ready to go. And I expect it to go over 1 million tonight, and we'll see how it goes. What do you think, Dougie? How you been, man?
I've been all right. I think that the YouTube live stream was taking too much of my bandwidth there, so I shut it off. Anyway, so here I am back at 100%. Yeah, it sounds good. So, geez, we lost like 770,000 viewers last week, huh?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, something you said, I think, is what it was. Either we missed the show or something you said or something that I said, because, hey, I'm the conservative liberal here, and Dougie over there, he's the liberal conservative. So, I mean, who knows what we're going to say? Who knows what we're going to talk about tonight? We don't even have an agenda tonight, other than the fact that I didn't burn my house down this weekend, which was pretty cool. I was on the phone with Doug probably a couple of times on Sunday as I'm fiddling around with my kitchen lighting, and turned out pretty good, man. It didn't burn the house down. It was all right.
That's funny. When you said that, I was figuring about a barbecue.
Well, the only thing I did
is barbecue went out of control.
I pinched my finger. I got a boo-boo. I got a boo-boo yesterday.
The wire bite you?
No, the wire didn't bite me. Actually, we bought the so to give you guys a primer on what I did is I've got some recessed lighting in my kitchen, and it's actually just two shop lights that are recessed inside of a box, and it has some lenses there, to create the light. And they've been fluorescent lights for probably, I don't know, the place is 50 years old, so who knows how long these lights have been up there. But the fluorescent bulbs are going out all the time. I can't stand doing it. The lens dropped on my wife's head the other night.
Oh, that must have been
scared her. Yeah, scared her to death and stuff like that. So I decided to go ahead and go to LEDs, because I mostly have LEDs in my house now too. So there's very few left of the incandescents, because you can't buy incandescent bulbs in California. I think you can.
You can some types, like appliance bulbs.
Yeah, some types you
that get too hot for LEDs.
Right. So anyway, I went over to LEDs and I called Doug a couple of times because he's my electrical expert. He keeps me kind of down to earth with my electrical, because I've done low voltage or electrical as a job when I was very much younger than I am now, and but I don't do a whole lot of high voltage. I've had some problems with high voltage before, knocked myself on my butt and stuff like that. So, you don't grab onto the white, the white and the black wire at the same time, stuff like that, with the circuit breaker on. So,
not with two hands. Okay, with one hand you can grab both of them. Yeah. You won't hold it for long.
So anyway, it ended up where I had to cut away all these wires and stuff, and it was pretty comical. I had to talk to Doug a couple of times back and forth, but it was interesting. I got my LED lights back up, and I went to put my lenses and my egg crating decorative stuff back up, and as I was doing that, of course, every time you do something like that, you kind of shoehorn yourself into a corner, because you're getting all these things up there, and all of a sudden you're going like, okay, well, how do I get the last piece up? Because
it's all blocked off.
It's all blocked off. So I'm in there, and I kind of got it in, and I shoved it back over, and one part, just one corner, was just sticking up about a half an inch farther than everything else. I'm going like, damn it, I don't want to take this thing out again. So I run back out to my shed and I go get, a little tool that I could use. And I'm trying to pull it down, trying to pull that corner down. And it's just a little plastic piece, I know, and I'm trying not to break anything, because if I broke anything, the wife would go crazy. So I'm in there and I'm pulling it down, and I put my finger up there and I grab up there to get the other thing down, and it comes down and whack right on my finger. I'm just like, oh. And of course she's talking in the background going that. I'm going like, just give me a Band-Aid. But she's going like, well, what about, I said, give me a Band-Aid. I cut myself. And I didn't cut myself. I mean, look, it's not like I went to emergency. There it is.
Did she change your diaties too?
She changed my diaties. Just get me up. Just give me a freaking Band-Aid. But she loves me to death. She's a good woman and everything. And I didn't burn her house down. And she loves the lighting. She thinks it's great. Yeah. And now she can walk underneath the lighting, and the lenses aren't going to fall down on her because I cut them just right. They're in there nice and tight. They ain't coming out. So if the LED lights go out, I guess I'm going to have to buy another pair of lenses or something, because I'm going to have to break that out to get it out.
No, you just bend it in the middle.
Well, I try to bend it in the middle, but it's just, the egg gradient's about half an inch thick, and it's pretty flexible, but
yeah.
Once it got flat, it didn't want to move anything, and I should have actually taken it back out and trimmed it a little bit, would have been okay, but Bruce the Weathered Soul isn't that weathered soul sometimes. He doesn't have that kind of wisdom. How you doing, Dougie, man? Enough about me. How's things on your end? The other side of town, because Doug only lives a couple blocks from me. How's things on your end of town? Any hotter over there than it is over here? Oh, we lost him again. See how he goes? We just don't know about the bandwidth around here, and he's just looking down. I got him looking down. You can see him froze there, but
there you go. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, yeah, so everything's okay on this side of the town. Everything's pretty much normal. We're getting there's one thing that's on my mind though, is they put that new shopping center in at the corner, Kelton and First.
Yeah.
They've been working on it since last year, but pretty much stopped in March, and they haven't done much. Abby told me she read in the paper that they're putting a Starbucks in there.
A Starbucks.
Yeah, another Starbucks.
Another Starbucks. So let me see. That would be 3.
What's that, Ab? There's a sign up that says coming soon. Okay, yeah, there's a sign up saying coming soon. That there's a Starbucks coming soon to that corner.
That's what you get from a live podcast right there.
Yeah. Hey, listen, live is live. Hey, no. That's. Listen, I've got my studio people here. Okay, I got my fact check. I got my fact checkers. They're on their PCs. They're typing in Google everything I say. Anyway, so I'm thinking about this. They repaved the road there, and they made it so that you can only turn right out of Kelton, which is away from town.
Right.
And if you go around the parking lot and through the bank, you can only turn right out of there.
Okay.
And if you go through that other parking lot, then you can only turn right onto Santa Teresa.
And then there's the church parking lot, which you can go all the way through to. Yeah, you can go all the way through to Santa Teresa from the church parking lot. So.
Yeah. Or there's actually a road right next to there.
Yeah, right.
So what I'm thinking is, this is great. Everybody who lives like between you and me that wants to get coffee in the morning is going to drive down my road, all blurry-eyed, needing their coffee, right? Half asleep, got to get to Starbucks, got to get my coffee, get their coffee, and then once they have the coffee, they're going to be flying back here to go, get their soap opera or kids to soccer practice or whatever. So it's going to increase the traffic on my road, which is already, you know how this road is, right? You got 2 sharp 90-degree turns. Yeah, which people park on, right? They park all the way around them, so the lanes get very narrow. I can't wait to see what's going to start happening.
Well, we're just going to have to lobby to get that street closed down. I mean, that's all it is. Yeah. They can only come in from First Street. So, so that'll be 3 Starbucks within a 1 mile little chase there, because you got the one that's you got the one that's in Safeway, you got the one that's across the street from Safeway, and then this new one's going to be down the street, and that's not even a mile.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like McDonald's,
Yeah. Anybody consider what this is going to do to First Street Coffee?
I don't know. First Street Coffee's got a pretty good following. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I hope so.
I never go to Starbucks, so they don't get
Yeah,
my money. They never get
right.
my money. I
No,
mean, First Street Coffee or the one down there downtown is the one that gets my coffee or
yeah,
gets my business. I'm always doing the family business stuff, and like my family business. If anybody out there loves Plexus and plant-based supplements and probiotics, you can get a hold of me because that's my family business and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't go anywhere. I don't go to GNC or anyplace else to get that stuff. So I'd much rather buy it from mom and pop than I would to get it from Costco or Walmart or anything else that we actually do. I mean, there's some things that we can't do, but everything's pretty much corporate owned around here, and they're pushing out mom and pop. I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, we just got into California just got into the orange zone, and here we go. We're going to talk about COVID right now because me and Dougie, that's probably one of our biggest button heads. But I mean, a lot of times we agree and a lot of times we disagree. But California have been pushed into the orange zone, which is, I think, is that level 2 or level 3? I don't remember what it is. I think it's level 2. I might be going the wrong way, but anyway, they're opening up indoor dining now. So we got indoor dining. We have, I think that starts on Wednesday. We're going to have indoor dining. And then we're going to start opening up. The playgrounds are starting to open up, and the gyms are starting to open up at I think 25% capacity or 100 people, whichever is smaller or larger. I can't remember what the thing is. So they're starting to open it up on a basis, and I kind of knew this was going to happen because we've been enjoying outdoor dining for I think about 2 months now. And only because it's the summer month and it's always warm here and stuff like that. But then again, after Halloween is actually the time that the weather really changes for the cooler. So I think that had a lot to do with going into the orange zone. I really don't think it really had to do much with numbers because they keep telling us our numbers are high. They keep telling us our numbers are low. And then they keep telling us people are dying. And then they keep telling us that people aren't. And it's just like, it's just a clusterfuck out there with the way people want to, present the numbers. I mean, today they somebody on KTVU was yelling that, they had this great big Sweet 16 birthday party out in New Jersey, and 37 people ended up being tested and positive for COVID. I mean, so why the hell, number one, we live in the San Francisco Bay Area, do we give a shit about what's going on in New Jersey? And why do we care about 37 people who attended a Sweet 16 party getting tested and positive for COVID? I mean, really? I mean, I don't really give a shit about it. I don't. I give
because
I give no fucks about it.
It's supposed to enlighten you.
Enlighten me to do what?
That when you do stupid things, bad things happen to you.
Well, there you go. I mean, so that's the whole thing. We're talking about personal. We call about personal responsibility, but I don't give a shit what happens in freaking New Jersey. I really don't. Unless something blows up in New Jersey, I don't want to hear about it. I don't care about 37 people that were at a Sweet 16 party that had. They didn't even.
Where did you hear this story?
Oh, this was on KTVU.
Really?
Yeah, Fox Fox News Light, or Fox News Left. That's what I'll call it.
Yeah.
I call it Fox News Live because we all know
Fox News for San Francisco speakers.
Yeah, we all know that Fox News is playing both sides to the middle, and everybody wants to be hyped up, and especially they can whip up the people in California just by telling everybody that the COVID numbers are higher in some other place, and everybody wants to freaking wear double masks now, and you can't go outside without freaking a mask and this and that, and I can go on this diatribe all night. I can, Dougie, because we both know how we feel about these things.
Well, the smart people say wearing masks is good and staying away from large crowds is good, and I believe the smart people because you know what, I kind of think I'm one of them. Right.
Well, I believe my smart people too, but I mean, it just depends on who's smart.
You don't know any smart people.
Yeah, I do, because they get paid by different people than your smart people. So I mean, there's a thing. So that's the whole big thing about science.
Who are you talking about?
Science.
I'm not talking about Rachel Maddow. I'm talking about the doctors.
Yeah, I'm talking about the doctors.
Like I believe what Fauci says, not what that other jackass that Trump's got up there now talking about.
Yeah, well, I believe whoever's
I mean, Fauci's
actually
been doing it for 30 years. He's done a damn good job. He's been
but he
through a
doesn't
few of
set
these.
policy. But he doesn't set policy. He's not a
No,
policy
the
setter.
jackass
And
in
that's who
charge
he's
sets
and
policy.
that's who he's no, he doesn't
Yes.
even set policy
Oh, yes, he
because
does.
Governor Newsom okay, so Governor Newsom is walking lockstep with Trump. Is that what you're telling me?
Huh?
Governor Newsom is walking lockstep with
Why would I? Where
with
did you get
President
that
Trump?
from?
Because you said that the big guy is setting policy.
Yeah, I'm talking about Trump. He's the one setting the policy. He's the one that's saying, don't listen to Fauci. Fauci, you hear what he's been saying about Fauci lately?
Yeah, I heard what he's been saying about Fauci lately. I agree. I agree 100% with what he says about Fauci.
Oh, and you're a jackass.
100% of what he says about Fauci. Because they're all getting paid from somebody, man. You tell me. Okay, all right.
No. You don't get it, and you've been listening to the wrong news
No.
again.
No.
Yeah, stop listening to those radical podcasts that fill your head with shit, because the truth is the scientists and the doctors know. And if you went to your doctor, why don't you go to your doctor and ask him what he thinks is best? The guy who takes care of you.
He lives in California. He lives in California.
Why don't you ask him what he thinks is best for you?
He lives in California. I know
what
he's going to say.
I
already do. You know what I do?
Why do you know what he's going to say? And why does it matter that he lives in California? Because any smart doctor in the whole country is saying the same thing.
No, they're not.
Why don't you go somewhere else?
No. For every doctor you can come up with this saying what you want them to say. I can come up with a doctor that says what I want them to say.
Good luck. Good luck. I'd like to see you do that. I'd like to see you do that because you can't.
Also the scientists are the same way. So how do these scientists get their money to do their research?
Scientists? What scientists are you talking about?
I'm talking about any scientist. Tell me a scientist that's not getting paid by somebody to come out with the conclusion that the person that paid them want to.
Oh, you're an idiot. You're such a fool. You don't even know how it works.
Enlighten me again. Enlighten me how it works.
It works by people do research and they write papers about it, and their peers check that to make sure it's not bullshit. Okay. And when it's not bullshit, it goes to a board of academics, smart people. I know you're afraid of them, but they're not so bad because they're smart. Okay? And when they approve it, then it becomes fact. Okay? Because it's been tested, it's been proven. Period. So there's no debating it at that point. Are you debating that airplanes fly? Because that's science, you know. Are you debating your car goes boom, boom, boom? Because that's science, you know. Are you debating that the internet works? Because that's science, you know.
Yeah,
you know that, right? That's all science. So all that shit's bullshit?
I didn't say it's all bullshit. All I'm saying is that science is not infallible.
The guy who invented the internet did it to make money.
Science is not infallible. Okay, science is not infallible.
The people who are researching anything right now, whatever you want to say, whatever, I don't care. You know how much dirt there is on the earth. It doesn't matter. Okay, they're doing it for money. All right, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's the fact, and that doesn't jade anything. It does not. It does not.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
You need to make a living. Why do you draw pictures? Why do you draw pictures?
I draw pictures because they want a certain conclusion out of my pictures, and they pay me for that conclusion.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be right or wrong. They want it the way that they want it. I've already been through that.
You do it for money. Period.
I do it for money.
Period.
Exactly.
I didn't say anything else. Exactly. I do it for money. Yeah, they do it for money too. And if they were fucked up, nobody would want to give them money to do it.
Exactly, but somebody always wants to give them money to come out to their conclusion, and
you can always find some asshole who will say whatever you want for money. That's 1/10 of 1%. So that means every one of them is bad.
1%. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Bullshit. When you have 100,000 scientists say one thing and one jackass on Fox News saying something else, it doesn't mean those 100,000 are wrong. You're assuming I watch Fox News. You're assuming I watch Fox News. No, I'm not. I'm not assuming that. I know what you watch and listen to, and it's much worse than Fox News most of the time.
Oh my God! Now he's talking about Tom Woods as a bullshit. And
hey, I don't know who Tom Woods is. I just know who you listen to have to be assholes because your brain ain't working right, brother.
I'll just drop some names for you. I'll drop some names. Tom Woods. Tom
I don't know
Woods
who that
show.
is.
Matthew
Should I look him
Eric
up?
and Jason Stapleton show. I'll Pete Quinones
Yeah.
from
And
from
so
the
I
Fremantle
guess
on the
they're
Wall.
all doing that out of
Jack
they're
Spurko,
they're telling
who's
you what you want to hear out
no,
of the
no, no, no,
kindness
no,
of their
no.
hearts, right?
No, they're telling
Right?
me exactly what the science is. They're telling me
Bullshit.
exactly what the
Bullshit.
science says.
You're pulling a Trump right now. You're saying none of it's true because they're doing it for
WHO
money.
just changed their mind on lockdowns. They're telling everybody that it's terrible for lockdowns. What do you mean? Here's the science. I'm telling you the science. You guys were
Science
walking
change. It's
hand in
called
hand.
learning.
3
It's
years
called
ago,
learning.
months ago, you were walking hand in hand with the WHO and the CDC, and all of a sudden they turned around 180 lockstep to disengage everybody from this lockdown. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. They can't
Who
keep.
said that?
Who said that? The WHO just said it last week that they turned around and they did a total 180 that says that these lockdowns are worse than anything that it's
I
not
never
helping.
heard that. I'll look that up because I never heard that from the double.
You look that up.
And
I'll
if the
send you the link.
CDC said it, they said it because Trump made them.
Oh, I'll send you the link, man. Well, the WHO ain't marching over Trump's orders because they ain't getting no funding from the U.S. So why wouldn't the hell would they do? So there you go. So anyway,
right.
so I knew that this was going to be on fire.
So how many times have things changed? How many times have we learned something new? Okay.
You know,
rock make sharp. Rock kill animal. Ooh, put rock on stick. Ooh, kill animal better. So that's called learning. So don't say everything that they're assholes because they learned something new and told you about it. But to get back to the original point, okay, you say that people say what money makes them say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that applies to everybody you listen to.
Absolutely.
Right? That applies to everybody that listens to this show, even though we don't make any money off it because we do it for charity.
Well, we almost got a cup of coffee out of it yet. We can go to First Street Coffee here. Probably in about a week or two, we're going to go get our cup of coffee, and we're going to share it with everybody on. We're going to share it with everybody on YouTube. That's what makes this so fun because you know what, me and Dougie, we go on and on like this, even on the phone,
even on text,
even on text. But I mean, here, you know, me and Dougie are both sensible people. We know what's going on. Me and Dougie and my family, you know, there's a couple of us, you know, we're at that age. Okay. We're at that age. We're still, you know, if we got COVID, there's a 90% chance that we're going to survive. Do we want COVID? No, I don't want COVID either. I don't want to get it. Chances are we're going to freaking get it, whether we like it or not, whether we get the freaking vaccine, whether it, you know, mellows down to some strain that is, you know, no more dangerous than a common cold. We're going to get it. But, you know, the thing is that you still need to go out there and you know, if you know, I don't put on my mask until I absolutely have to. I mean, that's a fact. You know, I walk into a store, it says I can't be in there without a mask. I don't wear a mask, you know, but as soon as I get out the store, I'm maskless and stuff like that. But
I carry my mask when I get to the door and I put it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Around me, I don't need to wear it.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
need to wear it when I'm driving in my car with the windows closed, like you see some people doing. Okay.
We've got some we got some wackos out there.
Yeah.
And so I mean, so we're sensible. I mean, me and Doug like to banter back and forth and talk about the science that we don't know about and all that shit. But Dougie's kind of smarter than me in that realm, and I'm kind of smarter in the freedom realm and liberty realm on that. But you know, we just go back and forth. I love bantering with Dougie because he's wrong and I'm wrong. So and when we can both decide that we're wrong and we know that we're right, then we get along just well.
I'm always right. Ask my wife.
Well, that's oh man, and the chat room just lit up. Here we go. We got 440,000 people going like ha ha ha.
You're right. You're right. I didn't know that.
So anyway, you got the Weather Soul podcast every Monday night at 7:00 p.m. here on YouTube Live and on Facebook Live. You can grab us there. All you have to do is just go to our website and you can get the Weather Soul podcast on your favorite podcatcher. We are distributed by anchor.fm / the Weather Soul podcast, Stitcher, YouTube, whatever you listen to, you can get us on those podcasts. The audio podcast comes out a couple days after we record this live, and you can always join the Weathered Soul Podcast Facebook group. You just type in the Weathered Soul Podcast in the Facebook search engine, and you can press join, and you can come in and you can banter with me all day long, because I'm on there all day long. Dougie's not there yet, but you can send him a nasty message too if you want to. And I'll text him back about it. I'll give him a screenshot, whatever the case may be, because that's kind of what I like to do. I kind of like to get under Dougie's skin if I can. And whenever I can. I'm kind of like a parasite sometimes. But anyway, I'm going to change the subject real quick, because I've got to do some bill paying, and I'm paying the bills right now. So what I'm doing is I've got a brand new podcast, and some of you guys that are listening to the Weathered Soul Podcast know that I am in the probiotic business. I do plant-based supplements. I do probiotics. I am doing weight loss. I'm doing all kinds of different things that have to do with wellness. You're invited to listen to my new podcast called In the Pit of Your Stomach, which is also live on Facebook Live and YouTube Live on Thursday nights at either 6 or 7 o'clock, depending on what time zone my guests are on. So I've got two good guests that are coming on this week, both dear friends of mine. First of all, my goddaughter, Melanie Harrison, who is a great entrepreneur right now. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a homemaker, and also she's a chef. She's a caterer. She's a knife sharpener. She has her own side business in network marketing from Monet. She's going to come in. She's going to talk to us about her entrepreneurship. We're going to be talking to Josh Forsyth of Forsyth Farm. This is Doug's buddy, who he loves down there in Southern California. And he's going to come in.
All right, man.
He's going to
don't give him any shit.
And he's going to talk about his urban farm. He's going to talk about quail husbandry. He's going to talk about raising quail. So it's going to be a real good time on Thursday night. 6 o'clock is going to be the showtime this week. And just In the Pit of Your Stomach. Look for it on my Weathered Soul page. Look for it at the In the Pit of Your Stomach page. You can go there and you can join there too. I'd be happy to talk to you about wellness and all kinds of other things. And that's kind of what I've got going on under my belt. And you're also going to see another advertisement if you're listening to the audio podcast once I break, and I'll just hit a break somewhere in there. But that's kind of what I wanted to say. Other than that, man, Dougie, take it over. What do you want to talk about, man? Because I kind of didn't have an agenda tonight, man. What's on your mind?
Oh God, there's so much to talk about, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Wow.
Pull it out, man. We could talk about Hunter. We could talk about there's nothing really to talk about Hunter. We've had that conversation before. But yeah, take it on, man. Give me something to rant about, man, so we can have that enlightened discussion that we just had. It was almost like being on Fox News.
Yeah, well, we can talk about a lot of things. I mean, we can talk about what's going on with the Supreme Court and all that idiocy, and really, I've got a thorn in my shoe over Mitch McConnell.
Oh yeah, well, let's talk about
Mitch.
Let's talk about Mitch because I like talking about him. I like talking about the heads of all the Congress, because I think they all have their heads up their ass. But I think the biggest one that has his head up his ass is Mitch McConnell. I'll agree with you 100% that guy needs to freaking be booted off the face of the earth, or at least booted out of freaking government, because he's been in there way too long. I mean, I can equate him to, I'm not too sure about Chucky Schumer, how long he's been in, but the other one that kind of equates to him is Nancy Pelosi, and I just can't stand either one of them, because they just sit there and they just don't, as far as I'm concerned, they're both the biggest stonewallers in Washington, D.C., period. But I think that Mitch McConnell is probably more on that because he's got the reins of the Senate right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, and he thinks it's a joke. To him, it's like, I'm in control. Ha ha ha. It's really kind of bad.
Yeah. Anyway, expand on that. Expand.
Well, I saw him in an interview, and I only caught the last couple of seconds of it. But he's being interviewed and he's being asked questions about what he's doing in the in the Senate. Like what's going on with the Supreme Court, what's going on with all the other judges. You held up over 200 of Obama's judge nominations, and now you fill them all with super right wing crazy people and all this other stuff, and he thinks it's a big joke. He's like, yeah, haha.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And now they're going to push this new Supreme Court judge in that. I don't know if I like somebody who first of all won't answer any questions, right? I mean, excellent job at snowballing, but uh, too church oriented. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't insult anybody, but I don't think we should have that much. I don't think we should have that much religion, that much religious influence in the Supreme Court. I really
Yeah,
don't.
personally, I haven't watched a minute of this Supreme Court hearing with the Senate Judiciary Community
I haven't watched much either. I've just seen the
because I
recap.
was just disgusted with what happened with Kavanaugh, and equally disgusted that they didn't give an up or down vote to Obama's last nominee, and the only reason I watch Kavanaugh is because it's just the fucking dog and pony show that they were putting on, and I had to be involved in that, and it was slow at work at the time and stuff like that. But with Garrick, with Garrick Marlin, Garrick Marlin, is that what was his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was sick to my stomach that they didn't give him an up to down. I was so pissed off about that because I really believe in the American system, and I believe that this woman she deserves an up and down vote too. I mean, everybody does. I mean, the president is bound by the Constitution to make a nominee. I don't think the people have a fucking word to say about it. I think that the Senate needs to give them an up and down vote. I think that all that things need to be happening regardless of what America thinks about her, or whatever me or you think about her. I mean, like I said, I haven't read word one about this thing. I've really been kind of shunning the news about it, really, because I just don't want to hear it anymore. Like I said, I guess their plot to get people out of this kind of condition right here was what they did with Kavanaugh, and I think they turned a lot of people off then, and a lot of people are just going like, we don't freaking care anymore. I mean, because here's what's going to happen is that if they get this woman in there and they do that and Biden wins, Biden's already said he's going to pack the court. Whatever you don't think or think that
when
the news
Biden
said.
Say that?
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that.
No. When did Biden say that?
No.
Who did you hear that from?
Stop this. He's been being asked the question. He's been dodging around it because he won't answer the question. Like any other politician has never.
He answered it straight up in his town hall. He said, "I am not interested in packing the court."
Well, then I guarantee you that if
he said that out of his mouth.
Good.
Then people watched it.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
Sorry.
Regardless of what he said, I don't believe a fucking word of it. Because I don't believe a word of
it.
I don't believe a word of it only because of the fact that I don't believe a damn word that Mitch McConnell says. I don't believe a damn word Chuck Schumer says. I don't believe a damn word that Nancy Pelosi says. Whoever. Doesn't matter to me. I just don't believe anything about my government anymore, and that's why I stand on the situation that I do, and being a libertarian. And you knew we were going to circle around to talk about this again. Yeah, I would love a libertarian in there. It's not going to be possible, but you know what? I'm not the one that's going to be walking around going like, I voted for Trump. I voted for Biden. It's not going to be my fault. I voted for somebody else. I decided to use my vote for somebody else.
You already know what we think about that.
Well, I know what you think about that.
Yeah. It's your right to waste your vote.
It's okay to waste my vote, and I waste my vote on something that was virtue signaling to my beliefs, and that's the way I'm going to do it. Same thing I'm doing with the local politics. I mean, I've been all over the mayor's race. Actually, if you want to talk about something political, we could talk about the mayor's race. I mean, that's where I'm at. But we're going to stay on Mitch McConnell for a little bit. I don't understand how. I've never been to Kentucky. That's what you call it. I love the way that you call it that. But one of the situations that
it's a beautiful state.
yeah, I'm sure it's a
It is. It's
beautiful
a beautiful state.
But whether it's red or blue or white or red or freaking whatever it is, you know, when you have a situation where and I followed Mitch McConnell's last election, and just so many things going wrong with number one, money in politics, the gerrymandering, whether it be Democratic gerrymandering or whether it be Republican gerrymandering or whoever fucking gerrymandering, there, it's always somebody's fault. All right.
Yeah.
And the problem is that Mitch McConnell's had his power for too long, and the people are dumb enough to put this guy in fucking Congress every goddamn time he comes up for re-election. And to tell you the truth, I really don't feel sorry for it, because if the people are that fucking dumb to keep doing it, you know, because he's had more money, he has more exposure. I mean, that doesn't show you the intelligence of the people that live in Kentucky or vote in Kentucky, which I'm assuming that it's going to be 50% of the 100%, and 25% are showing the direction of the way that they want to go, just like the national polls.
Yeah, and you know, I really wouldn't give a cat's ass, except that it affects me.
Well, I don't know.
Their decision affects me. And
what is that? Okay, go ahead.
You know, I mean, really, if he was just some other dumb shit senator.
We lost Dougie again, so we're hopefully that he's going to come back on live, because he's going bing, bang, boom, and everything else. Hello, Dougie, you're back.
Am I bing banging?
Bing banging and booming. So,
next time I'm plugging straight into the router.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So you know, if it didn't affect me, I wouldn't care, but it does, so I do. How's that?
Yeah. I guess so, but you know, I don't look at it that way, because I kind of walk to a different drummer. I mean, whatever happens in the Senate and in the House, I try not to let it affect me. I kind of walk on a different.
But it does. You can't not let it affect you. It does.
I'm trying not to. That's where I'm getting at. So I mean, as far as I can walk as a free man. As a free man, without worrying about because I'm not going to let the Senate or the House or the president or anybody else tell me how I have to live my life. And that means that if I've got to walk around a corner to do what I need to do, you know, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to walk
even if they're going to put you in jail for the rest of your life for it.
Well, you'd have to get caught first.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you got to get caught first. I mean, that's
tell me you've never been caught.
I've been caught a bunch of times. I spent some time behind bars, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm not a stranger. I'm not a stranger from being behind bars.
You know whether you deserved it or not, but okay.
I don't think I deserved every one of them.
Right, exactly.
Whether or not I was stupid or not, I don't think I deserved either one of them. But you know, that was just a choice of a naive kid.
That's how it affects you. That's how it affects you right there.
Yeah. Well, then I guess every decision affects
no way
everybody.
You can hide from it.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, if we're going to have different political voices that are driving our minds, then what's good for me is bad for you, and what's good for you is bad for me. I mean, so that's kind of the way we are. I know we're not that way. Like
the amount of money it costs you to drive on shitty roads.
Yeah, exactly.
That affects you.
Yeah. I understand. I understand what you're getting at.
You can't make it not affect me. Okay, unless you're going to go live in a cave in Montana like a hermit.
Well, I don't think you're going to get anybody better. I mean, on the other side of Kentucky, you got Rand Paul. So I mean, to me, I like Rand Paul. I like the way he deals with people, and he deals with the president, and he deals with the Senate. But I mean, on the other side of the coin, you've got Chucky Schumer, who is just as much an obstructionist as anybody else. If he was in Mitch McConnell's shoes, you know, he'd be obstructing just as much as Nancy Pelosi. You know, so I've got a big boner for freaking Nancy Pelosi. So I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I think that she's probably way past her time. But I mean, that's not for me to decide. I don't live in her district. I live in Zoe's district, and you know what? I voted for Zoe again. I voted for Zoe again because, you know what? She's kind of up straight. I've never known her to be corrupt or anything like that. She's probably made some bad decisions, but I mean, for the most part, I think she's been a pretty good senator. So I mean, kind of that's where I'm at with that. So you know, I'm not for career politicians, but if you're doing a good job, you're doing a good job. But Nancy has proven that she hasn't done a good job, and I don't think that Chucky Schumer has done a good job for his constituents or the people of the United States. I mean, I think we can agree on that.
Well, yeah, and at least for the last 4 years, they've been in kind of a tight place, and it's been a while.
Yep.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while since he's been able to really implement any. It's been a while since he's been able to implement any of his ideas. I mean, it just hasn't happened. It's been over 6 years.
Yeah. Well,
so
once you start being able
but
to,
then the Republicans also waste a lot of time on.
Yeah, man, your connection is so bad tonight. Hello, Dougie. We're gonna wait for Dougie to come back, and Dougie's not coming back this time. So I think what he's going to do is we're going to drop Dougie. He's going to go plug into his modem. And this is just the way that we're going to be.
Holy cow.
So you need to get a great big 50-foot long cord that plugs into your modem that you can plug right into your Bark Lounger, and then you can have your stuff going on. But no, Dougie, I totally agree with you. I mean, I'm gonna take the reins here and just say, when Congress has so many people in it that are button heads and we can't go forward and we can't move this and we can't move that, that's a sign that it's time that this government's not working for the people. And no matter how much Nancy Pelosi wants to say that this is right, and Chucky Schumer wants to say this is right, and everybody else wants to say this is right or that is wrong. When you've got so many people that are that divided and that blocking of any type of stuff that's going on, then we got to make a great big change. And whether that great big change is voting them all Democrats or voting them all Republicans, I don't care, but we got to get something to move somewhere. And Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi are just not doing it. They're just not doing it. And they haven't done it in a long time. So that's where I'm at. So I think one of these times, because I got Dougie all froze up here, I think what I'll do is I'll let him go and do this podcast the rest of the way by himself until he gets his connection stuff all taken care of. And I just, on Dougie's part, Dougie's really right about what's going on in Congress, and he's really right about what's going on with Mitch McConnell. I call him Mitch the Bitch McConnell because that's really who he is. He's just one of those guys that wants to obstruct everything. And you Republicans out there, I'm sorry of what you have to hear about this, but that's the way that Mitch McConnell is. He's going to be that way all the time because that's what his money behind him and his constituents want to do. And there's nothing else that we can do about that. There's Dougie's back, and there's nothing else we can do about that except for have the people of Kentucky vote him out. If somebody's not working for you and if somebody just keeps stonewalling, that's what you got to do. But the American people, I don't know if they're just not smart enough. I don't know if they're just not motivated enough. I don't know if what is it going to take to get you off the couch to go vote? Because that's what's really the problem is that you've got 250 million people that are eligible to vote. You've got 50% of them that actually do vote, and then they're split virtually down the middle. I mean, could lean one way.
It's within like 10%. Yeah, 5% plus or minus.
Yeah. And then those other ones are independents like me and Dougie who vote our conscience. I mean, we really do. I mean, vote. Dougie's going to vote his way. And I'm going to vote my way, and I'm going to vote my conscience. I'm going to vote what I believe in. And Dougie doesn't agree with my vote, and I don't know what his vote is because I got an idea what his vote is, but I vote, it doesn't really matter.
I vote for what I believe is best for me.
Yeah.
And I vote for somebody who I believe could do something. That's best for me.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm going to vote. To me, I'm going to vote for an agenda, and right now my agenda is freedom and liberty. And if I can get any closer to that, that's what I'm going to do. Which brings me to the local races. I had a little banter with our one of our candidates for mayor and he is I won't, I guess I could say, Reed Lerner and Marie Blakely are both running for mayor of Gilroy, and I've been on Reed. I know of Marie Blakely. I've met her before. I've asked her some questions. She's never dodged around the questions, but she has made some. I don't want to say empty promises to me, but I've been to some city council meetings and brought up some different issues before, basically medical marijuana. And nothing has gone forward because the city council, for some reason, in this city, has felt that the silent voter out there, who apparently outnumbers, us real voters out there, don't like the idea that they don't want a medical marijuana or a marijuana dispensary or marijuana growing in Gilroy, no matter what the federal law is or the state law is. So I'm not through with Marie Blakely. I haven't.
Have you ever asked them to justify that?
I have. I asked them to justify that, and they just dance around the answer. They really haven't given me an answer. So I asked Reed Lerner how his stance was. I asked him straight up on his website, and I said, "Look," I says, I read a comment that was on his Facebook site that said the guy asked him, what his position was on a certain issue, and he goes like, the pandemic and stuff like that. And he goes like, well, I'm going to do whatever Governor Newsom says that we should do, and whatever our county health department says we're going to do. Well, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that because of exactly the argument that me and Dougie had the first part of the show. That is because I don't happen to believe the same thing that the governor or the health departments believe in. For the most part, I think things ought to be opened up a little bit. However, being that fact is that Reed Lerner claims to be a moderate as far as being able to be pliable in those things. That means you're in the center somewhere, and either you lean left or you lean right, whatever, or you lean both ways, kind of like me. I mean, I'm kind of that guy that leans this way and that way in my political stance. But I asked him straight up if he was opposed to putting marijuana dispensaries back into Gilroy, because we had one at one time, and he said yes. So I followed up that question with the reason why I'm going like, okay, well, you've been involved in city council and you've been around for a while, involved in local politics. I said, what do you think about this 7-0 Stonewall that they had in the city council that abolished all of the marijuana growing around here, all of the dispensaries, or the one dispensary that we had around here, and I never got a reply. So to me, it's just like, why would I vote for somebody who's going to be the same as somebody who's already sitting on council like Marie Blakely? I mean, so if I'm not going to get a straight answer from Reed Lerner, why am I going to vote for him? I might as well vote for Marie, right? I mean, your rebuttal on that.
Right. Well, yeah. I agree. But I also agree with their answer about doing whatever the county health department says to do.
Yeah.
I think that somebody's got to lead, and if people don't follow, then they've got no one to blame but themselves. So that's one thing. But as far as the medical marijuana dispensaries go, I've heard other reasons, like.
Well, you can enlighten me on that one, because I can imagine what the reasons are. But I mean,
way back at the very beginning. Am I still with you? Way back at the very beginning.
Okay.
Friends of mine tried opening a dispensary right here at the corner of right here where Eagle Ridge Liquors is.
Right. Isn't that the one that closed down? Right? That opened the shop?
Yeah.
Very quickly. Very quickly.
I actually knew the people that were trying to open that, and the reason that the city council gave them for not giving them a permit was they were afraid it was going to create too much crime, because our police are already too busy trying to deflect all of the gang activity and stuff, that they figured it would just bring in more gang activity and those types of peoples.
Really? On the contrary, the war on drugs has never fucking worked.
Yeah. So I thought that was a pretty lame excuse, and so did everybody else. But that's what the stiff asses at the city council told them from what they told me.
Yeah. Well, it seems to me that seems to be the major reason for everything. When of course this war on freaking drugs that started back in the 80s, even probably before that, has never fucking worked. And it's always made the cartels and the drug traffickers even more rich, because then you got to go into the black market and stuff to do what you want to do. So here's the situation that I see, and this is how I feel about it. I honestly think that all drugs should be legal. I don't care what drug it is, because I don't think that you're sitting there, Doug, and that I'm sitting there hoping that freaking heroin becomes legal so me and you can start shooting up heroin. Right? I mean, are you sitting there waiting? Are you waiting?
No, I think it should become legal because I think it's
but are you waiting for
that? To have a moratorium
are you waiting for that?
No, I'm not.
No,
but I still think that it's unconstitutional to have it banned.
Are you waiting for Quaaludes to become legal again so we can do Quaaludes again? I mean, is that
when did Quaaludes go illegal?
That's how stupid it is that they would make that argument that it's going to bring in more gang activity and stuff like that. I mean, we've already seen the success that it's had across the state. We've already seen the tax revenue that they freaking bring in, which is ridiculous, because believe me, when I had to buy the medical marijuana for my son, God rest his soul, Anthony, it was, for the $40 bottle that I bought for him of his CBDs, it would cost me $55 to get it out the door. The taxes are ridiculous on
at least 40%.
Yeah, at least 40%. It was just ridiculous. But the fact of the matter is that it is a moneymaker for tax purposes. I don't have a problem kind of with doing that, as long as it's not overtaxed, because they're going to tax everything anyway. So irregardless, why not make it that way?
I don't think it should be higher than the tax like on booze or
cigarettes. Oh, hell no. Oh yeah, absolutely. And they made it that way. They're what do they call it? Stignifying it still. I mean, just because they want to make it legal, they're still stignifying it. And I think that the city council of Gilroy's just got their head up their ass in this whole deal, and that's just the way it is. Whenever I can't go to the city council meetings now, but the times that I used to walk in, that was my main agenda, and they always kind of just frown and go like, "Oh, fucking here he is again," and your statement is well noted, Mr. McGee. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you look at
we'll take it under consideration. I say thank you very much for fucking listening to my stupid.
It's and I'm sorry it's so hard for you to live in a democracy.
A democracy is not 7-0, man. I'm sorry, especially when they say silent voter out there is more powerful than the voter that goes to the polls, man. I just, sometimes it just makes me mad. But guys out there, I'm going to make a public service announcement to you, because we're running to our hour time frame here. But you know what? A lot of people go out there, and a lot of libertarians that I know don't vote. There's a lot of libertarians that or people that are independents that just don't. The reason that they don't vote is because they just don't. They don't think that their voices are getting heard. But I tend to disagree with you. I tend to disagree with the George Carlin myth that says that we're not a part of the club. We're not a part of the club because we don't want to be a part of the club. And if you don't want to be a part of the club and you don't vote, then you ain't got a right to bitch. And I don't care who says that you have a right to bitch when you didn't go out there and do your due diligence to even freaking use that freaking mail-in voter thing that I hate. But I mean, if you don't freaking put in your mail-in vote, I mean, that's the fucking easiest way in the world to go put your vote out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how easy is that?
I did mine, and it's already been counted.
Yeah, and I mean, go ahead. I mean, so how they make it so easy for you to vote? How can you not vote? Got 25% of the people in this damn United States voting and making the policy for all you out there. So you're satisfied with that. I'm asking you, America, right now, all you 670,000 people that are online watching this right now, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the little bell up there to notify you that we're on live on the air. Why aren't you participating in your government? Why do I have to listen to you on Facebook rant and rave all the fucking time about you hate Trump, you hate this, you hate Nancy, you hate Mitch, and you ain't put in your vote? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm going to leave you with tonight, because sometimes I get a little pissed off about that, because I am an American and my right to vote has been protected by spilled blood, number one. That's one big thing. And then I see all those other countries out there who haven't been able to vote ever, and they're more than happy to vote when they get the vote. So if you're out there and you're screaming, wah, 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 I'm not represented, well, did you vote? And that's what I got to say. Dougie, I'm going to let you end it up.
Well, I agree with you, Bruce, 100%. If you don't vote, you're not participating. If you're participating, you've got nothing to say. That's all there is to it. That's what democracy is. One person, one voice, one vote. That's it, period. I mean, that's all there is to it. And I'm glad to hear that all of every single one of the libertarians out there is watching our podcast tonight.
Yeah, I am too, man, because
they need to organize.
We need to organize. We need to get out there, and we need to get some local people running for office, and don't make it, because in Gilroy, you don't even know. They don't even tell you what the party is that these people are running with, because they don't have to divulge that. I mean, you actually have to
look at the color of their signs.
Yeah.
Look at the color of their signs.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. If they're red, white, and blue, you really don't want that. They're just Americans, right? Yeah. But anyway, we're running up against time. We're just going to go a little bit short because we really don't have an agenda tonight. And I'm going to gush all over Dougie like I always do. He's the reason why we have 899,000 people watching us right now. And you're invited to come over to the Weathered Soul podcast page and just join the Weathered Soul podcast page. Just type in the Weathered Soul podcast in that Facebook search bar, and you can get in and you can banter with me all you want. I'm going to be writing my opinions and all that stuff. I'm going to be selling you shit too. But you can listen to the Weathered Soul podcast on your favorite podcatcher. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave us a nasty comment or a sad face. I don't care. Just let me know that you're breathing out there. We got 895,000 people listening to us. I need 895,000 comments. Give them to me.
Yeah, and we'll get back to every single one of them.
We'll get back to every single one of everybody who listened to tonight. And we are on live every Monday night, 7 o'clock, like clockwork, like a broken clock. We will be here next week. And I'm just going to let Dougie say, good night, Dougie.
Good night, Dougie.
And this is Bruce. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's to all of you guys.
There we go. Godzilla. And this is Bruce of Weathered Soul. And for best results, you squeeze from the bottom up.
Bottom up.
Good night. We love you all.